Good day, guys, and welcome back to the channel. This week is round 23 of the NRL tips, and something I've been doing throughout the season is having some guests join the channel. So we will be having some guests, which I will introduce in just a moment. Guys, if you don't know, this channel does have a sponsor, so make sure you go and check out Drom Clothing Co. over on Instagram. Use code ENT15 so that you do get a discount at drom.com.au. This is the current Compass t-shirt available at Drom. And as I said, if you use code ENT15, you will get a discount. Congratulations to the Diablo fam who did win a hoodie in last week's giveaway. So there will be another giveaway next week. But tonight, we're just a bunch of boys hanging around. We've got plenty of guests to get through, so we'll introduce them one by one. His real name is Jason David, but we call him Go the Bulldogs. Please welcome TikTok Bulldog supporter Jason David. Welcome, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, man, for having me. It's an honour.
Not a problem at all. This bloke, he hates the Parramatta Eels, my team over here, but that's because he's a Bulldog supporter. His language is not nice, but I like him. He's funny, and he is the CEO of Shut Your Mouth. It is Emilio the Savage down here.
Thank you. Honour to be here.
Honour, no worries, appreciate it. And this man here, you've seen him guess the case numbers, but can he guess how many points his Bulldogs will score this week? Please welcome John Bernard Kairouz. Did I pronounce it right? Your mic's off, Johnny.
There we go. Sorry, mate. Yeah, no, that's a great mic drop. No, that's a good pronunciation, but I think I'll be right. I'm a big Bulldogs fan too, so it looks like all three of us against the old Parramatta Eels.
That's right. I wish it was an Eels and Bulldogs game this week. That would be pretty fitting. We'll have to get you back next year for it. But let's get started. Round 22, obviously we saw no upsets for the round. It was all favourites. I don't know about you boys, but I personally got 8 out of 8 in my tips, and I really hope I can do it again this week. Congratulations, Jason. Fantastic. 5. What'd you get, Johnny?
I was 6 from 8.
6 from 8. Close. Well, we start with the Storm and the Titans. Now, I'm just opening up this team list as usual here. So, look, the Titans, they're obviously struggling. They weren't great against the Rabbitohs. There's a few outs for the Titans in Alexander Brimson. Moe Fotuaika, that's a big out for mine. Herman Essa is in via the reserves. Jaden Campbell will once again be playing fullback. He filled the role really good, especially against Manly, even though they got flogged. Pappenhausen's back properly for the Storm. Nico Hines in the 7, and Justin Olam, the Cheese, and Jerome Hughes all out for this one. So it's going to be a really interesting clash. I think the Storm are going to be too good for the Titans here. So I'm going to take the Storm 32-16. And I think anytime try scorer Brian Kelly for the Titans. First try scorer, I'm going to go with the Fox. You're all looking forward to him being at the Bulldogs next year. So I reckon the Fox will score the first try of the match. Jason, what's your tip?
I'm going Storm because I think everyone's going to agree on this. Last year when Cameron Smith left, I think everyone thought the Storm would kind of drop off a bit, but they haven't. They haven't
at all.
They have not dropped a beat. Whatever they've got working up in Melbourne, it's absolutely working. They've been at the top for many, many years, and I'll be at the top for many, many years to come. I'm going Storm to win 13 plus. Josh Adokar to score 2 tries.
Oh, Josh Adokar scored 2. All right, Amelia, are you backing Josh for a try like us?
I'm backing Josh anytime try scorer, but I'd go Justin Olam first try scorer.
Justin Olam.
10 Melbourne.
34-10. And John?
I'm going to stick with Emilio. Go Justin Olam first try scorer. Melbourne 13 plus to have a big one with, a bit of criticism on Pappenhausen not playing up to scratch. And anytime try scorer, I'm going Kamikamitha, bit of an outsider.
Kamikamitha. Boys, I'll tell you what, one little value thing, one thing I love to do with my tips is find a bit of value. David Fifita's paying $3.75 to score. Does anyone think David Fifita can cross against Melbourne's defence?
Probably not.
He definitely can.
He could. Good value there. I'm not going to take him for a try, but just chucking it in there. The second game, I'm really looking forward to this one. This should be a fantastic game. There were earlier reports that have turned out to be kind of false unless the cheek has been pushed back into place. The Raiders take on the Sea Eagles. Now, the Raiders, they're playing for a top 8 spot. Manly, they're in the top 4 at the moment. They're going to want to stay in the top 4, though. They've got Brad Parker out for this one due to a head clash last week. Corey Harawira-Naera is obviously out for the Raiders, Jared Croker and Tom Starling, but they do get Chance Nickel-Klokstad and Sebastian Crisp back, Chance via the bench. I was so close to tipping the Raiders here, but I can't do it. I think that if these rumours about Manly are true and Tom Trbojevic is struggling, and from what I saw about the Raiders against the Storm, I think this game will be closer than people think. So I'm going to take Manly by 6. I'm going to take Manly 24 points to 18. I'm going to take Kieran Foran to score a try at any time. And I think there's a bit of value at Bailey Simonson, the winger from the Raiders, who was first try scorer last week, paying $14. So Simonson to score first and Manly by 6. Jason?
Yeah, this one's gonna be really, really interesting. Because at the start of the year, Manly were just in horrible form. They lost, I believe, 4 of the first opening games. But when Tommy Turbo came in, they just clicked, and they've skyrocketed into the top 8. He carries them, so I think this will test to see where Manly are, because we're on the brink of the final. So I reckon this will test to see how fit Turby Tomo is for Manly. And I think Manly will win it, but just win it. Raiders get a huge boost with that Nickel Klokstad back. Huge boost. No one didn't think that he would come back due to that neck injury. But as much as I like to see Canberra win, I just can't. I'm going with Entertaining House here.
Done the same? Emilio?
Yeah.
Is it going to be an upset?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll get to win 36-18. Ruben Garrick, anytime try scorer, and Jason Saab, first try scorer.
What about you, John? Upset in the water? Can the Raiders
Emilio likes the wingers. I've been backing Manly to score one and both wingers, so I always go Turbo anytime, Garrick anytime, and Saab anytime. It seems to be working. So I'm going to go, again, Ruben Garrick anytime try scorer. Manly 1-12, I think they'll be able to hold on. Even without Turbo, they've stepped up a fair bit, so they get to prove it this week.
Well, they're paying $3.75 to win 1-12 and $1.60 13 plus. So I'm glad you like the value there, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to say one of my best bets for the week, guys. I'm going to take the Raiders at the line of 16.5. It's paying $1.90. I think that, as John mentioned, of 1-12 Manly. I'm with Manly, but I'll take the Raiders at the line, which basically means that they can lose the game by less than 16. If they lose by more than 16, you're fucked. So let's move into the next game, which is the South Sydney Rabbitohs and the Penrith Panthers. Now, the Penrith Panthers, they get a lot of players back. Let's read this lineup because they have a solid squad this week. Coruscant's back. Kate Bell's back. Tavita Pangai Jr.'s back. And my man, James Fisher-Harris. I'm wearing the I'll hold it up here, the Fisher-Harris. He's fishing. Oh, there you go. So Fisher-Harris looks to be back in jersey 21. As for the Rabbitohs, they get Campbell Graham. They also get Alex Johnston. So this is a huge boost. Both of these teams have been playing some very consistent footy. Panthers have been a little bit off lately, but they got the win over the Dragons, which probably gives them a lot of confidence. They've got Nathan Cleary, full squad back. The total here is under 48 points. I'm probably going to lean towards the unders, even though I've got 42 points being scored. This is probably going to be the ups of the week. I'm going to take the Rabbitohs to beat the Penrith Panthers 13 plus. They are an attacking machine, and no team that's ever scored 50 points against them has gone on to win the comp. And the Rabbitohs are starting to make me believe that that could change this year. So I'm going to take the Rabbits to win 30-12 over the Panthers, and Alex Johnston and Scott Sorensen to score a try at any time. Adam Reynolds, first try scorer. Jason, massive game Friday. Who are you going with?
Is. Oh, this is really, really hard to pick. I'm telling you, Penrith, they get boosted. South get boosted. This is going to be a very high-scoring game because we're able to see which team is better. This is going to be really, really hard. I'm tossing a turn. I'm thinking last week, South Sydney were just too hot for Titans, I believe. And then Penrith were pretty good against the Dragons, and with Cleary back, this is a really, really hard game to pick because you got Walker and Reynolds up against Laura and Cleary is going to be very, very hard to pick. This is extremely hard to pick. But who do I go with? I'm gonna go with Panthers by 2. Nathan Cleary to hit a 2-point field goal.
2-point field goal. I like the crazy prediction. All right, Emilio. He's backed the Panthers. I've gone the Bunnies. Who are you going with?
I've backed the Panthers, but in a very, very tight game. I think Rabbitohs will have the lead throughout most of the game, and Penrith will get him in the end. I'm going Dan Gagai, first try scorer, and Fisher Harris anytime.
All right. What do you reckon, Johnny? It's a massive game Friday.
Yeah, I'm one to think that Souths are pretenders. They've gone up against the big teams. They get belted by 50. Penrith back to full strength. Cleary back. I'm going to take the Panthers by 12 points. Nathan Cleary to score anytime in his return game. And I'll take Crichton to score first try.
Okay, I like that pick. So you've all gone the Penrith Panthers against me here, and I'm taking the Rabbits 13 plus at $5. I really like the value of South Sydney, the way they're playing. They've actually got the most wins, I think, for a long time in their club's history with 10 straight. So I'm backing the Bunnies. The next game, it's not a great game, I'll be honest. The Cronulla Sharks take on the West Tigers. The West Tigers, they got a win over the Cowboys, very unconvincing. They're definitely missing a lot with Dane Laurie. Jacob Little is out for this one, so I'm just checking who the backup hooker is. It is young Jake Simpkin. Billy Walters has been named in the reserves. James Tarmo returns for this game. And then obviously, I almost said condolences, but he's not dead. But best wishes go out to Andrew Fafita. Absolutely horrible what happened during this night's game. He'll be out for this one. He's currently in a coma with a fractured larynx, so best wishes to him. The Sharks look to recall Will Chambers via the reserves. I was close to going the Tigers in an upset. This game will be scrappy, low scoring once again like the Tigers last week. So I'm going to take Cronulla. I think Cronulla will win this game 20 points to 10. I'm going to back a winger here. There you go. I'm going to go Ronaldo Mulatalo to score the first try. And you know what? At any time, I'm going to back Aaron Woods to score a try. Big Woodsy's going to get over this weekend. Big boy season. Jason, Sharks or Tigers?
I'm going to go the Tigers because over the last couple of weeks, the Sharks have been very, very, very sloppy. They've lost very, very tight games. They lost to the Warriors, then they lost to the Knights last week, and it's just shown that since Sean Johnson is out, how much the Sharks have fallen. A bit. It all started from after the Bulldogs win. They started slopping down their form. And I think with Sean Johnson now, I think that affects them.
So you're going the Tigers?
Yeah.
Okay, Emilio?
I'm going Sharks in a scrappy, close game, 24-16. Let's be honest, they're both not the best of teams. They'll be a lot of errors and low scoring. I'm going David Norfolima, first try scorer, and Alex Twal anytime.
Alex Twal anytime. He hasn't scored a try in his career. This is the week, is it? I'll have to tag Roasty in that. We'll have to clip that. Roasty is going to score this week. All right, Johnny. Scrappy game. Are you looking forward to it, and who's your tip?
I don't. I only enjoying watching good footy be played, and neither of these teams play good footy, at least consistently. So I'm going to go with the Tigers to get the better of the Sharks. Sharks got Sean Johnson out. You could flip a coin at the end of the day. I'm going to go Adam Dewey to score any time. And I like Brooksy to score first as well. I reckon he's going to show and go at the line and head over.
Yeah, Brooksy was told today, I forget who it was by, I did see a report that he was told that he really should move on at the end of the season. I think it was Blocker Roach said, it's time for you to go at the end of the season. So he's definitely going to be up for a big game. He's going to be fired up, stop talking shit, that type of mindset.
Big call. I'd take him at the Bulldogs. I don't know about you boys. I think we could partner him with Burden next year. We need some kind of good seven. I don't think Wakeham or Lewis are doing that good of a job for us.
Well, you've mentioned the Bulldogs there, so let's move into the Bulldogs. They're the next game. This game is at 5:30 on Saturday. The Bulldogs, they haven't won a game in a while now, up against the Newcastle Knights. Now, I'll tell you what, the Knights, they're going to be missing some big guns this week. Tyson Frizzell is out and Daniel Saifidi is out. Chris Randall makes his Knights return with Jack Johns on the reserves. Phoenix Crosland also on the reserves. As for the Dogs, Jeremy Marshall-King and Sione Katoa are out, so both hookers. So who is... Jackson Topany makes his return. Lachlan Lewis, your favourite player, Emilio, has been named in jersey number 21, and Corey Allen returns. I don't trust the Bulldogs at all. I do probably think the Bulldogs might squeeze another win this season. They have a good record against the Knights, but I don't think this will be the game. I'm going to take Kalen Ponga to score the first try. He's at $8.50. I'm going to take the Knights by 24, 34 points to 10. They didn't convince me over the Sharks. I even would say they probably didn't deserve the win over the Sharks. There were silly penalties in that game, in my opinion, but I'm going to take Bailey by Ondi Odo, the Sharks back rower off the bench, to score a try at any time. Jason, can the Doggies win? Or boys, can the Doggies win? Jason, you're up.
Unfortunately, I would have to say no, because over the last couple of weeks we've been in games where we've been like South, Roosters, but we just haven't been able to capitalise them at the back end. And somehow we have, I think, close to the highest completion rate in the NRL, but we just don't have good fifth tackle options at all.
Yeah, they're struggling at the moment.
Yeah, they're absolutely struggling. I don't know what's going on in camp, but I can definitely see Newcastle winning this 13+, Kalen Ponga to score 2 tries.
Okay, Emilio, 168-0, or what's it going to be?
All seriousness, I think it will be a close game. But the only time the Bulldogs have won, which I've noticed, is when we have a very good start. So I'm going 24-12 Bulldogs.
Bulldogs, 24-12. He's picking them. Bold choice.
Ponga anytime.
Ponga anytime? Well, John, you've got to jump on this Ponga train. 3 of us have said Ponga. I'm hoping you're picking Ponga here.
Yeah, I'm with Jason. I'm going to pick with my head and not my heart, Emilio. I'm going to go Knights by 12. I do like that number. It'll probably be 1-12. Ponga to score any time, but I'll also have the Bulldogs hooker that you mentioned to get over. Topine, is it?
Topini. Okay, so the hooker to get over. Interesting choice. Well, hopefully, because you're all Bulldogs fans, hopefully you get a win this week. Maybe this is an omen having you all together here, Bulldogs fans. So let's move into our next game. Also for that game, 44 points I've got being scored. I'm going to probably take the unders at 52.5 at $1.90. My Parramatta Eels. Oh, shit. My Parramatta Eels have forgotten how to win games, and they've had a very tough draw. This is probably the easiest draw. This is probably the easiest part of the draw as we play the Cowboys. Now, Parramatta over the years have been known for losing games they shouldn't. And I go back to the game at Bankwest in 2019 against the Panthers. I think they lost 7 in a row. They came out to Bankwest. They beat us 16-10. I'm shit scared for this game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys get up for this one with 9 straight losses, and if they get 10, it being the most in their club's history. There's a few changes for Parramatta. Tom Opacek has suffered a rib injury. Ryan Madison obviously suspended, and Oldfield dropped. Just get out. That was I'll give him another chance maybe next year, but that was a horrible defensive performance. Sean Russell, who I mentioned last week, he's in jersey number 20, so good to see him potentially getting a run. Tegan Hipgrave on the reserves, and Will Penasini is back in the centre, so looking forward to that one. Big ins for the Cowboys via the reserve with Taumalolo and Hamiso, but I'm going to go with my heart and head here. I think Parramatta can bounce back. No bias here. I wouldn't mind Eels 1-12, but I think we can sneak a 14-point win. So I'm going to take our attack to be pretty bad and only score 26. So I'm going to take Parramatta 26-12. I'm going to go with a few try scorers here. I like Will Penasini to score his first try in the NRL at $17. And I'm going to take Will Smith to score at any time off the bench, and Jake Granville, because Wanga Blake and Hayes Dunster, they've got those defensive issues, so you can almost back any central or winger to score against that side of Parramatta, but I'll go Eels by 14. Jason?
You're not going to like what I have to say. That's what I'm going to have to say.
All right, go, mate.
Last week's performance of Parramatta is an example of why they have not won the Cup in 34 plus years.
Oh.
That's why. You don't play like that. If they want to be a top 4 team, you got to compete with Penrith, South, and Melbourne. They cannot compete with them. They've been like this for years and years and years to come. I'm going Cowboys. I just think over the last week with the Cowboys' losses, they've been heartbroken. But I just think since Mitchell Moses has come back from that broken back, they've just been a bit off. But I'm going Cowboys. I just cannot see Parramatta winning after what happened to them last week. I just can't.
Emilio, are you the same here? Are you going with Cowboys?
I'm going Parramatta, honestly.
Oh.
Like, if it was like an average team, let's say like Knights or something, I'd probably go for them at the moment. But Cowboys are just not looking good lately. A lot of injuries, 9 losses in a row, as you said. I'm going 26-16 Parramatta.
Parramatta 1-12. All right, John, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Parramatta as well. I just think they're going to bounce back from last week. Mitchell Moses was a bit disappointing last week. A lot of drop balls, very scrappy game. So I'm going to stick with Parra to bounce back. Again, I'd say it'd be a close game. Cowboys' attack isn't too great. They're still struggling with new halves. So I'm going to say Parramatta 24-10. And if I had to pick some try scorers, I'd go Mitchell Moses to cross over in a solo effort try. And also I'd say Taumalolo to score in his return game.
All right, interesting. We've both gone the Eels by 14 there, and Jason going against us. Emilio 1-12. So, Parra fans, which is predominantly a lot of the channel, hopefully we can get a win for the first time in a month. Let's move into the next.
I will say just quickly, I've got to agree with Jason. They can't cut the mustard with the bigger teams. Maybe on their day in the finals they can have a crack with Souths, but when you're talking about Melbourne, Penrith. I just don't think they'll be able to beat those teams.
Well, I'll say it myself, like you said about the Bunnies before, they're pretenders. So just making up the numbers over there.
Do you think Brad Arthur holds on to his coaching role next year? I personally don't. I think he could this year. But I think midway through next year, if the Eels are sitting around 13th, 14th, that type of position, I think it could be time to go, which I think could happen because the mindset that they're in and with Gutho potentially leaving, I don't think he will stay. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't think he will stay. A lot of talk about Dylan Brown also going potentially to Warriors or Raiders. So it's going to be a different team. So I don't know. I don't know who's going to hold the reins. I'd like to see Shane Flanagan. Come coach Parra, in my personal opinion. Let's move into Roosters Dragons. Now, I went to this game when they previously played, which was the Anzac Day, the annual Anzac Day clash. It's a rematch here. The Dragons are struggling. Their attack is awful. Now, their attack against Penrith was some of the worst I've seen this year. And I really like what I saw from Tyrell Sloan, so I'm sad he's not getting a run. He's got a tricky name. Talatua Amoni has been quite solid. They do lose Andrew McCulloch this week. So Josh Maguire will – oh, God, I didn't see that. I want to change my tip almost here. Look, I'm going the Roosters, but Josh Maguire at hooker. Like, what is going on here? The Roosters are missing Angus Crichton, though. That's a big out for me. And Victor Radley, Victor the Inflictor as well, huge out. They do get Hargraves back. They weren't convincing against Brisbane. I'll take the Roosters 1-12. 26-16. Dufty's back. I'm going to take Dufty to score at any time and Tupanua first, but Josh Maguire at hooker, that really turns me off. Jason, Roosters or Dragons?
I'm going Roosters because I think everyone will agree on me on this day that at one stage Dragons were in the fall after that win over Parramatta. And now look at them. Now they've really, really crumbled really, really badly. Just terrible. I don't know what's going on down there, but they're just really, really terrible. They don't have enough heart. like it's just like they just don't really care. I'm going Roosters 1-12.
1-12. Emilio, I think he's going to go Roosters 13 plus.
Yeah, no, I'm going Roosters 28-18 in a not really a convincing win. I don't really think they're contenders. Like I'd say Broncos deserved that win last week. And
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going Daniel Tupou, first try scorer, and Matt Duffy.
I'll Dufty any time as well. All right, Johnny, you on the Dufty train with us?
No, I'm not. I think the Roosters have weathered all the storms with injuries this year. They probably won't go deep into the finals, but they'll weather anything that the Dragons will throw at them. So I'm going to go Roosters in a tight game, but something like, 24-16. If I had to pick try scorers, I'm going to pick Joseph Manu to score a double.
Oh, he's been outstanding. The money being thrown at him at the moment is all worth it. He's been absolutely outstanding. So we're all going the Roosters there. I'm sorry, Dragons fans. Now, let's see if you're shocked here. I'm just gonna put it out without even reading the team lineup. We'll get them in a minute. But I think there's going to be golden point this round. Now, you think it's Panthers Rabbits. I reckon the Broncos and the Warriors will go to Golden Point. I reckon Brisbane and New Zealand will head to Golden Point on Sunday afternoon and could be game of the round. The Rabbits and Panthers, we're hyping up, and there's always that hype around games and they don't live up to it. So, look, I'm going to throw this out there, and you let me know if you disagree. The Warriors are paying $10 to make the top 8. Now, they've got the Raiders and they've got, I believe, the Titans coming up, and then this game against Brisbane. If the Raiders don't beat Manly and don't beat Warriors, Warriors can make the top 8. That's outrageous odds. So I'm going to take the Warriors to record 4 straight wins without Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. 25-24. I think the Broncos will score first, so put that in your multi. Xavier Coates to score first. And Ewan Aitken, he's transitioned from centre to back row, and he's been fantastic for the Warriors. So Golden Point and Warriors to make the 8. Jason, we'll start with you. Oh, this way.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with the Warriors here. I just think, over the last 2 seasons with the Warriors of how much they're sacrificed, I think it's actually starting to pay off. And the Warriors have a chance of making finals. That would be huge for them. A huge boost for the community and their fans. With all that's going on, I think I'm going Warriors. Same with you, Entertain House.
Perfect. Emilio?
Very similar to yours, but not Golden Point. I'm going 25-18 Warriors in like a nail-biter game. And then in the end, they'll score a try and get a field goal. And I'm going Payne Haas, first try scorer. And I can't think of another one. But yeah, that's it. That's right.
I think, did you say Payne Haas first try scorer?
Yeah.
I got on Payne Haas last week at $50 and got him. So it's crazy that you've backed the Warriors to score 25 points. We're gonna have to put a pun on that. John?
I don't know who to pick here. That both teams have been very scrappy, have had players coming in and out. I like Xavier Coates finally coming back in, so I'm going to put Xavier Coates first try scorer at $10. If I had to pick a team, it's going to be Brisbane 1-12. You get that at $3.50. And I like, possibly someone like Adam Fanua-Blake going over at any time up the middle. So they're my 3 bets.
Fantastic. Well, since you've got into bets, let's get into mine. If you guys have any bets, feel free to chuck them in. Obviously, I didn't include this part in the draft, but I always include it for myself. So, guys, my multi for the week is going to be paying $8.90. So I mentioned the Raiders and the Seagulls. We've all gone with the Seagulls to win 1-12. So I'm going to take the Raiders at the line of 16.5 that I mentioned. I think they can cover that easy. I think they put in a great performance against Melbourne. I'm taking the Bunnies to win. They've all gone against me, but stuff them because the Bunnies are going to pull off an upset on Friday night at 8 p.m. So Bunnies to win. The Warriors to win. I think they can play finals footy. They're heading towards it. And Newcastle Knights head-to-head over their Bulldogs. So that's paying $8.90. And then my try scorer multi, I'm going to take Will Penasini to score his first try in the NRL. Xavier Coates, me and John are both on him as first try scorer. What was the odds? $10?
$10.
Good odds there. Alex Johnston to score in his return from injury, and Mulatalo. That gets you $11.60, and those are 4 very legitimate try scorers. So really looking forward to it. Has anyone else got any bets they want to chuck in? Anything else?
No.
I'll quickly throw mine in, mate. Just a multi for the round.
Yeah.
I've got Melbourne halftime, full time. I think that's an easy win there against understrength Gold Coast. Manly Seagulls at the line. Canberra at the line at plus 16.5 with Ruben Garrick to score any time. Penrith Panthers head to head at $1.70, and then to the Roosters at the line at 12.5. So that's my 5 games for this week.
What was your tip for the Roosters game? The score?
I think it was a close game, but yeah, 1-12 at least. So I don't know, just kind of covering me both ends.
Okay, right. Because I was going to say that line's a big line of 12.5. I wouldn't trust the Roosters, especially with their performance against Brisbane, but they do get Hargraves back. Well, I want to thank you all for coming on the channel. It's been fantastic. And as I mentioned, I think when Parramatta play the Bulldogs, we'll definitely have to do this again. Make sure you go and check out their TikToks. Jason David, I believe it's Jason David 1997. Is that right? That is right. You'll hear some Go the Bulldogs there. Emilio the Savage, you'll hear some Shut Your Mouth. And there is no case numbers, but there's still plenty of comedy over on John's TikTok at John Bernard Kairouz. And also, I believe we all have Instagram, so go and follow there. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've just hit 3,000 last week, so fantastic little milestone. Myself on TikTok at EntertainYT, almost at 1,000 followers on TikTok, so I can do some live streams with you guys. Thanks all for coming on, and we'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Legend, mate. Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me. Big fan of all of you guys, so keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it. Same goes, mate. Thank you.